Hello and welcome to the show. The Summit League Outdoor Track and Field Championships commence this week in Vermillion, hosted by the University of South Dakota. Events will get started on Thursday morning, and the Coyotes are eager to show off their new track and field complex. Nicole Griffith takes us trackside for a preview of the view that is good as it gets on any college campus.
South Dakota christened the Lillibridge Track Complex in Gotsleben Field at the USD Twilight in April. It was the first outdoor meet held on the USD campus since 1979. The program is now gearing up to host the 2016 Summit League Championships this Thursday through Saturday. South Dakota Director of Track and Field Lucky Huber is excited to see everything coming together after years of planning.
There's lots of things that make it kind of neat. One of them is that all the field events are inside the stadium. So literally a person can sit in the bleachers and see everything.
The complex features a 9-lane, 400-meter NCAA certified BSS 2000 track surface. And there isn't a bad seat in the house. Fans can watch every event from the 1,000-seat grandstand.
But that's really the way it was designed. So you'd be able to watch a race, and in between races, watch a field event, and then pop over to a throw, and then in between there, check out the results on the board.
The facility also has unique features such as the 120-meter incline and decline training lane, one of 2 in the country. An in-ground timing system was also installed in the complex.
We'll be having chip timing, so that'll be a new feature that we'll have at the conference meet that'll be kind of cool. So everybody who runs the 800 meters and above will have a chip on their bib number, so we'll be able to get their splits, and that'll go up to the big board.
While the Coyotes will be showing off their brand new state-of-the-art facility at the conference meet, athletes will be getting down to business as usual.
There's a lot of tracks where you see, you have events across the street or off in the distance a little bit, and I think it kind of gets rid of the purpose of the whole track and field team. This one has everything right in the field. The audience can see it all. It really brings together the whole team.
It's a huge privilege that we get to go to a lot of tracks around the country through the season, but it's really awesome that one of the nicest tracks in the country is right here at home.
Overall, I think the fan experience will be pretty awesome out there. Neat spot to watch the track meet. And I think that energy will then carry on to not just our teams, but all the teams, because everybody will be right there seeing everything. I think it'll be a very intense track and field meet.
Thank you, Nicole. Going to be a great event there and a great venue for the Summit League Outdoor Track and Field Championships. A couple of guys getting up for the league championships come from IUPUI. Sophomores Deion Davis and Paul Saley lead the Jaguar high jumpers going into the conference meet, and these guys are really pioneers in their sport at their school. Up until last year, IUPUI only had distance runners competing in the outdoor championships, but in the last 2 seasons, Davis and Saley have been the driving force to put the Jaguar jumpers on the map.
Just to know that we started the break away from just the distance guys, and then we have set school records. So people, if they continue to bring in other events, we are the ones that they have to try to come and beat. We're setting the bar for future athletes.
I'll see people break our records. I mean, he'll start setting records in random events, but then when they get a full team and people that specialize in those things, they start breaking it. Wow, they looked at our records, they saw that they had something to beat, they had a goal, and we were that goal.
Well, Saley is the school record holder in the long jump right now. Davis is the school record holder in the high jump. So the Jaguars will enter the Summit League Championships with hopes of setting some new heights for the IUPUI program. Well, keeping it on the track, the 91st running of the Howard Dakota Relays were over the weekend, and a lot of top Summit League athletes from North Dakota State and South Dakota State and South Dakota were at this event, some of them setting new meet records in their last competition before the Summit League Championships. Well, the University of South Dakota men had 8 individual champions in last year's outdoor championships, and one of them is Tyler Frank. A high jumper, he is back again this year. Frank just misses 7 feet at the Wood Relays. Goes 6 feet 11 3/4 to win the event. That ties the best in the league so far this season, and that is 3.5 inches better than his winning leap last year at the Summit League Championships. Well, the Coyotes are good in the pole vault as well. USD sophomore Jake David sets a new meet record, 17 feet 5.5 inches. That is the best in the Summit League so far this season. And in the shot put, South Dakota's Kyle McKelvey, a new meet record, 60 feet 9.25. He and defending Summit League champion Alex Renner of North Dakota State will go head-to-head in that event this weekend. Speaking of the Bison, the defending Summit League team champions, NDSU's Parker McKittrick wins the 110-meter low hurdles, a time of 14.34. That is just 7 hundredths off of his Summit League winning time from last year. Landon Jokum of North Dakota State is the defending league champ in the 400 meters. He wins at the Wood Relays, a time of 47.99. Jokum has the 4th best time in the league right now. Oral Roberts runners have the top 3 in the 400 meters. And in the team event, South Dakota wins the 4x100 and the 4x400 relays. The Coyotes have the best 4x1 time in the league right now, and they have the 2nd fastest in the 4x4 going into the league championships. Meanwhile, the North Dakota State women will try to keep their streak alive this weekend. The Bison women have won 8 straight Summit League outdoor track and field championships, and they could get a challenge again this year from South Dakota and South Dakota State. SDSU's Carly Carper is the defending league champion in the 100-meter dash. She wins at the Wood Relays, a time of 11.78. Carper also wins the 200 for the Jackrabbits, coming across in 24.15 seconds. And South Dakota should have contenders in several events. Shanice Canigan wins the 100 hurdles in 14.19. That is her best of the season and the 2nd best time in the league right now. And USD sophomore Brooke Ireland runs her best 400 meters of the season in 55.82. But she will get some serious competition from Oral Roberts and North Dakota State runners when they get to the league championships coming up this weekend. Well, up next, men's golf, and the Summit League champions from South Dakota State getting ready to go where no Jackrabbit men's golf team has gone before.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and the Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back. Well, this will be new and exciting for the South Dakota State men's golf team. For the first time, the Jackrabbits are going to the NCAA tournament. SDSU is one of 81 teams that are in the hunt right now for the national title. The Jackrabbits captured their first Summit League championship last week with an 11-stroke win over Omaha and the rest of the field down at the Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton, Kansas. So it is on now to the regional, which will be 54 holes over 3 days. It starts next Monday on the 16th, and it will be played at Kohler, Wisconsin, at one of the top 100 public courses in the United States, according to Golf Digest.
We're going to be able to get to play with some great players, but it's not unlike anything we've seen here this season. We put together a great schedule. We've seen many teams that have qualified for the NCAA tournament here throughout our schedule in the fall. So we've seen good players. We'll play with some great players.
Well, there are 6 NCAA regionals, 13 teams in each of those regionals. The Jackrabbits are in the same region as the overall #1 seed in the nation, Illinois, along with Florida State and Florida in that region as well. If SDSU could somehow finish in the top 5 at the regional, they would advance to the NCAA finals in Eugene, Oregon. Well, up next, we are 2 weeks away from the Summit League Baseball Championships, and the standings starting to sort out a little bit. Fort Wayne trying to make a move into the top 4 and get themselves into a spot in the Summit League tournament.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and the Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back now to baseball. Oral Roberts has a pretty firm grasp right now on the top spot in the Summit League standings. 4 games up on second place Omaha heading into the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Oral Roberts, though, still has to play at Omaha. They've got 3 games there coming up next week. Now, if the Mavericks from Omaha are going to catch the Golden Eagles, they'll need more outings like they got from Tyler Fox, who earns his 5th career Summit League Pitcher of the Week honors. Fox tossed a complete Game 5 hit shutout in Friday's 6-0 win at North Dakota State. He picked up his league-leading 9th win of the season, and Fox now has 29 career wins. That ties him for the most all-time at Omaha, and it puts him 3rd place right now in the Summit League all-time win charts. The Player of the Week goes to Brandon Sote at Fort Wayne. He went 6 for 6 with 6 runs batted in on Friday in a 1-run loss to South Dakota State. But on the week, Sote registered 11 RBI, 3 runs, a couple of doubles, 2 triples, and a home run in those 3 games. Fort Wayne trying to get out of last place in the Summit League standings right now. Here are Brandon Sote and the Dons in that 3-game set at South Dakota State over the weekend. Game 1 in Brookings on Friday features 31 hits, 25 runs, and actually some pretty good drama late in the game. Here is one of 6 hits in this game for Brandon Sote, 2 of his 6 runs batted in, and Fort Wayne gets out to a 9-5 lead after 5 innings. But South Dakota State gets 3 runs in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th. Nick Smith with 2 hits for the Jackrabbits. He scores 4 times in the game, and South Dakota State has the lead. SDSU gives up 2 runs in the top of the 9th, but the Jacks hang on to pull out a 13-12 victory in the series opener. Game 2 on Saturday. Brandon Sote back at it again, smoothing that into the corner in right field. 2 hits and 3 runs batted in this game for Sote, and the Mastodons again out to a 5-0 lead through 5 innings. Bottom of the 6th, Jesse Munsterman lays that on the chalk down the left field line. Luke Ringhofer and Paul Jacobson coming around for the Jackrabbits. SDSU gets 3 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th to tie the game at 5. But the man with the name that sounds like a law firm comes through late for Fort Wayne. Jackson Boyce with a single in the 8th to drive in 2 runs. Shane Trevino comes across with the go-ahead. Evan Van Sumeren with some insurance, and the Dons take game 2 7-5. And then on Sunday, Fort Wayne with a blowout. Huge game for Greg Kaiser. A single, a double, and 2 home runs. He scores 4 times, drives in 7. Kaiser jumps into the league lead in home runs with 11, and he is now into the top 5 in the league in RBI after this performance. And you combine what he did with 5 more hits for Brandon Sote. Sote goes 13 for 15 in the series. Matt Johnson with a monster home run for South Dakota State, but Fort Wayne wins this one 18-7. The Dons are still alive for a shot at the postseason. They will host North Dakota State this weekend. Well, up next, the Summer League Softball Championship plays out this weekend in Fargo. North Dakota State will be the heavy favorite again because the Bison just finished up one of the best regular seasons in Summit League history.
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and the Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Now to softball, and the regular season is done. The league tournament is this week in Fargo. North Dakota State will be the top seed for the 4th year in a row now. The Bison went 17-0 in league play this year, and they have won 27 straight league games going back to last season. NDSU's always had dominant pitchers, and that includes Jacqueline Sertic and KK Letty this year. Letty is the pitcher of the week. She led the Bison to 2 more wins with 2 complete games over second place Omaha to help NDSU clinch the regular season title and that perfect league season. Letty went 8-0 in Summit League play this year. She and Sertic held teams to a league low ERA of 2.12 in the regular season. The player of the week in softball is Rachel Beatty from Western Illinois. She helped the Leathernecks to a series sweep of Fort Wayne. Beatty hit 2 home runs, drove in 9 in a 3-game set, and helped Western Illinois lock up the number 3 seed in the Summit League tournament. And here she is with the Leathernecks taking on Fort Wayne and South Dakota visiting South Dakota State as they decided the tournament seeding in the final week of the regular season. Start with South Dakota at South Dakota State, and a pretty good series. There were 2 one-run games and 1 two-run game in this matchup between the in-state rivals. Coyotes take the opener on Friday. Shelby Kyle with a home run. She goes 3 for 4, drives in 3 runs for the Coyotes. Madison Frayne in the circle for USD, strikes out 6. She gets the win, and it is a 5-4 final. USD wins game 1. A lot more offense in game 2. 6 home runs in the game, 3 by each team. Jessica Rogers, Katie Cochran, and Jamie Holscher all go deep for the Coyotes. For South Dakota State, Lauren Churnside, Allie Herdliska with her 16th of the season, and Devin Larson, all 3 take out home runs for the Jackrabbits. South Dakota State scores 10 runs in the 5th inning, and the Jackrabbits win this one 12-11 in game 2. And probably the best game of the series on Saturday. Devin Larson with a 3-run home run to straightaway center for the Jackrabbits. Her 11th home run of the season, and Larson is now the SDSU all-time leader in home runs with 34 in her South Dakota State career. The Jackrabbits get that from Larson. They get some great defense as well. Very nice grab down the right field line by freshman Julia Anderson. And then some more offense, sort of. Allie Herdliska walks 4 times in the game. She gets an RBI out of 1 of them. She sets a new SDSU single-season record for walks, and the Jackrabbits win game 3 6-4 to take 2 out of 3 in the series from South Dakota. Meanwhile, in Macomb, Fort Wayne at Western Illinois, the Leathernecks get right to it in the first game. They put up 8 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Haley Dua with a bases-loaded double, and Western rides that to a win in game 1. 13-4 is the final in the first game. Game 2, first inning. Jessica Murray with a 3-run blast for Fort Wayne, and the Dons get out to an early lead. But here is Haley Dua again for Western Illinois. Her 2nd dinger of the season for her, and the Leathernecks get 4 runs in the bottom of the first to take a 4-3 lead. Bottom of the third, look at this easy swing. That is the player of the week, Rachel Beatty, easing that over the wall in right center field. Beatty goes 3 for 4, drives in 5 runs. Big smile coming around third base, and why not? Western Illinois back in the lead. Western in the lead 7-5 in the 5th inning, but IPFW ties it up. Demetra Burns with a shot past second. Emily Olszewski and Caitlin Kowalski score to tie it at 7-7. But Western comes back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Another sweet swing by Rachel Beatty. Doubles in the go-ahead run as Kelsey Marlowe scores, and Western wins game 2 9-7. And they get the series sweep on Saturday on Senior Day, senior weekend for Western Illinois. And they get the win despite another home run from Fort Wayne's Demetra Burns. Just her 3rd home run of the season, but her 2nd in the series. Pitching, though, prevails in this game. Leatherneck starter Casey Hart goes 6 innings, strikes out 6. And then this is Hart at the plate with a runner on in the 4th inning. It's only her 5th at-bat of the season, and this is her 1st home run of the season for Casey Hart. Western takes a 2-1 lead. They win this game 3-1. The Leathernecks get the sweep, and they have won 5 in a row now going into the Summit League tournament. So here is how it shakes out for the Summit League tournament. North Dakota State, the number 1 seed. They are the top pitching team in the league by far. Omaha is the 2 seed, the top hitting team in the league this year. And those 2 get first-round byes. South Dakota and South Dakota State will play the first game. The winner of that one takes on the Bison. Western Illinois and IUPUI in the other first-round elimination game. And the winner of that one will get Omaha on Thursday. And the tournament runs up and finishes on Saturday in Fargo. Well, up next, why is this Western Illinois softball star so dressed up? And why is this man dancing? And what in the world are the Wespies?
Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, Dakota Land Honda, and South Dakota Corn. Inside the Summit League on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and the Sioux Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back. You have most likely heard of the ESPYs, ESPN's annual award extravaganza. And as of this moment, you have now heard of the Wespies, the end-of-year celebration honoring athletes at Western Illinois. And this is the third year that they have held the event, which includes a little song and a little dance. This one by Garrett Covington, very nice. A lot of glitz and glamour, but they also honor two very accomplished seniors with their Student Athlete of the Year awards. This year they go to softball standout Carissa Kuchis, who is not only the leading hitter on the softball team this year, but is president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and she has also helped raise more than $100,000 for the Children's Miracle Network. And the Western Illinois men's honoree is All-Summit League swimmer J.D. Furr. He is the school record holder in the 200-meter breaststroke, and he is a four-time selection to the Summit League Academic Honor Roll. Well, thank you and congratulations to all of the Summit League seniors graduating this spring and saying goodbye after this season is over. But still some work to be done with the softball and the track championships coming up this weekend. We will see you with the results and the recap of those coming up next week on Inside the Summit League.